We have postponed the PS4 jailbreak. Because we have not finished yet, we know there is no news from the jailbreak community, because we don't want Sony to know that a new jailbreak is coming. We do not know how long it will take, but we are sure we will release a new jailbreak, so stay tuned.
Let's talk about PS4 update history. The initial version of the system software for the PlayStation 4 is 1.01 as pre-installed on the original consoles. Support for the remote play and second screen experiences were added in version 1.50, which was launched on the same day the PlayStation 4 console itself was released in North America on November 15, 2013. Both features are accessible from the PlayStation Vita console by using its PS4 Link application, and the second screen functionality is also accessible from smartphones and tablets through the PlayStation mobile app. It is also able to record or share video clips as well as broadcasting gameplay to Twitch or Ustream.40. It supports Blu-ray and DVD video playback, and version 1.60 was released on February 4, 2014, improving DVD playback. Version 1.60 also adds support for Pulse Elite wireless headsets. 41 Version 1.70 was released on April 30, 2014, and adds a number of new features, such as the addition of a rich video editor called Share Factory that offers users the tools to combine, edit, and personalize captured video clips. This update also adds the abilities to share video clips and screenshots while streaming, and to copy video clips and screenshots to USB storage. 42 Version 1.75 was released on July 29, 2014, further adding the support for playback of Blu-ray 3D. It also improves the sound quality during 1.5 speed playback with Blu-ray and DVD video. 43 Version 1.76 was released on September 2, 2014, came with minor changes, and was the last update until version 2.0. 44 released on October 28, 2014. Version 2.00 is a major upgrade to the PlayStation 4 system software. Among the features introduced is SharePlay, which allows PlayStation Plus users to invite an online friend to join their play session via streaming, even if they do not own a copy of the game. Users can pass control of the game entirely to the remote user, or partake in cooperative multiplayer, as if they were physically present. 45-46 This version also adds a YouTube app, and the ability to upload video clips to YouTube, and users can now play music stored on USB storage devices. Also, with the support for custom themes and the ability to change the background color, users can set themes for home screens and function screens for each user in this version. 47 Version 2.50 was released on March 26, 2015, adding a suspend resume feature to allow players to jump in and out of games with the PS button, and games are suspended in the low power rest mode instead of closing completely. This version also allows the console's hard drive to be backed up or restored to a USB flash drive. 48 On September 30, 2015, Sony released PS4 Update 3.00. It introduced entirely new features and user interface enhancements. Among the new features was the ability to share videos directly to Twitter, a dedicated PlayStation Plus section, tweaks to the interface for streaming on YouTube, improvements to social features such as messages and group creation, and the ability to save screenshots as PNGs. An increase in online storage capacity from 1 GB to 10 GB was also introduced for PlayStation Plus members. Sony states that this update will create new ways to connect with friends and players around the world, expanding the social capabilities of the system even further. 49 On April 6, 2016, Sony released PS4 Update 3.50 that would enable the PS4 to use remote play functionality on Windows and macOS, formerly named OS X. VG247 reported that the update will allow remote play functionality on computers running Windows 8.1, Windows 10, OS X Yosemite, and OS X El Capitan. Furthermore, the article explains that remote play will support resolution options of 360p, 540p, and 720p, frame rate options of 30 fps and 60 fps, and that one DualShock 4 controller can be connected via the computer's USB port. 50 On September 13, 2016, Sony released PS4 Update 4.00, which added high dynamic range, HDR, and home screen folder support, 1080p streaming, tweaks to menus and game info screens for greater overview, and streamlined interfaces. 51-52 On March 9, 2017, Sony released the next major firmware update, version 4.50. The update includes support for installing applications on external hard drives, custom wallpapers, a refined quick menu, a simplified notifications list, custom status updates in What's New, and 3D Blu-ray support for the PlayStation VR 53, and includes support for the preloading of game patches. However, it is up to the developer to make use of it. The first game to take advantage of this feature is Little Big Planet 3.54. On October 3, 2017, Sony released PS4 Update 5.00. Overhauling the master sub-account system, the update allows for more customization of accounts for family members and roles, and applying parental controls to each account. The group system is replaced with a new friends management system, along with support for 5.1 and 7.1 surround sound configurations for PlayStation VR. A new tournament bracket viewer has been made, along with tweaks to broadcasting, with 1080p streaming at 60 frames per second on Twitch now possible, and other changes to PS Message, notifications, and the quick menu. Lastly, it introduces localization for Czech, Greek, Hungarian, Indonesian, Romanian, Thai, and Vietnamese languages. 55 5.50 was released on March 8, 2018. It includes playtime restrictions for child accounts, the ability to hide applications from the library, custom wallpapers via USB, a super sampling mode on PS4 Pro, and the ability to delete notifications. 56 5.53 was released on April 12, and 5.55 was released on May 17, 2018. Both only include updates to improve system performance. On September 13, 2018, Sony released PS4 Update 6.00, which improved system performance. 6.50 was released on March 7, 2019, that allowed users to use Remote Play on iOS devices through the Remote Play app from the App Store, and some other minor improvements. On May 10, 2019, Sony Interactive Entertainment added the ability to remove purchased games from the download list for PlayStation Store and delete games from My Profile. On October 8, 2019, Sony released PS4 Update 7.00. The major feature that was added was the ability to use Remote Play on select Android devices running the Android Lollipop version and above. In addition, other features include chat transcription and the expanded limit for party users from 8 to 16.57. On December 19, 2019, Sony released Update 7.02 with the goal of improved system performance and stability. 58 On October 14, 2020, Sony released PS4 Update 8.00. It brought changes to existing party and message features. Other additions include new avatars, enhanced two-step verification system, and updated parental controls. 59 On April 14, 2021, Sony released PS4 Update 8.50. On September 15, 2021, Sony released PS4 Update 9.00. On December 1, 2021, Sony released PS4 Update 9.03. On February 19, 2022, Sony released PS4 Update 9.04. The PlayStation 4 system software is the updatable firmware and operating system of the PlayStation 4. The operating system is Orbis OS, based on FreeBSD 9. The native operating system of the PlayStation 4 is Orbis OS, which is a fork of FreeBSD version 9.0, which was released on January 12, 2012. 67 The PlayStation 4 features two graphics APIs, a low-level API named GNM, and a high-level API named GNMX. Most developers start with GNMX, which wraps around GNM, which in turn manages the more esoteric GPU details. This can be a familiar way to work if the developers are used to plat like DIRECT3D12. Another key area of the game is its programmable pixel shaders. 8 Sony's own PlayStation shader language, PSSL, was introduced to the PlayStation 4.9. It has been suggested that the PlayStation shader language is very similar to the HLSL standard in DirectX 12. With just subtle differences that could be eliminated for the most part through preprocessor macros. 8 Besides the kernel and related components, other components included and worth mentioning are Cairo, jQuery, Lua, Mono, OpenSL, WebKit, and the Pixman rendering library. Many of these are open source software, although the PlayStation 4 is not an open console. 710 The software development kit, SDK, is based on LLVM and Clang, which Sony has chosen due to its conformant C and C++ front-ends, C++11 support, compiler optimization and diagnostics. You know that PS4 cannot be easily jailbroken, so wait until we release.